Yeah, buddy. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Childish back at it again. It's time to get you guys that next update, patch 1.7.7. We got some new units, and it's time to do what I like to call little ones to watch. All right, the ones to watch. So, this is something that I'll try to incorporate when I get the opportunity. Today, I was blessed with Comtois providing us new units on my day off, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and give you guys some insight on what I feel is going on with these new units. But obviously, depending on the schedule, we'll see how we'll see how I can keep up with this or whatnot. But this should be interesting, to say the least, right? A lot of us out there, when new stuff comes out, we love to give you guys a heads up, and generally speaking, our videos can take a long time, right? Because we got a lot of stuff to go through. There's actually not too many new units, but what I kind of want to do with this series, called the ones to watch, is basically just have you guys kind of go through them, before we even get started, and then we'll just kind of briefly, talk about the ones that, in my eyes, just kind of stick out, because a lot of the times new units come out, and we get, very, very excited about listening to all one, when in all reality, we all we really care about are the ones to watch. All we really care about are the ones that are going to be, that by wording here, seem to be extremely strong. So, flat out, let's give Comtois a big shout out for giving us an opportunity to get some of these new units before the Halloween. In addition, I want to give them a shout out to for the fact that their increase. This first wave of units is providing units that are based upon defense. Now, there's a lot of units out there that are some of the best units that we have out there, and they're all focused on HP. They're all focused on attack power. I think the defensive realm of units was kind of getting a little, a little on the back end. And now that we got a couple of units that sound like they're going to do well, I'm excited. The defensive realm, I think that needs to be boosted up, and it looks like they did that right here. So let's take a look here. Number one on my list. Actually, the number one's kind of a tie between the fire and the light, but the fire and the light are my top picks. I think those are going to be the ones to watch. Three different attacks, and all three of them are proportionate to the defense. Now, the fire one does have his middle skill proportionate to the max HP and defense. So I'm curious to see how the damage modifiers adjust, if it's based on both at the same time, or if it's based on one or the other. That'll be interesting to watch. But the fact remains is that all three skills are based on the defense. So this kind of reminds me of the Dark Warbear. Okay, initially it wasn't too good, but they made a change a few months back, making all three attacks based on max HP. So when you have a certain type of unit that has three skills based on the actual attribute of it, it's really darn cool. Now, of course, this doesn't say if it is an actual defense monster, so to speak, but the fact is that all three skills are based on defense, so obviously stacking defense is going to benefit you, right away. As far as the light goes, again, three different attacks, and all of them based on defense, and then of course the third skill, giving the opportunity to attack many, many, many times. I guess this one, because of the fact that all of these, because of the fact that they have the opportunity to attack two times, and if it's not suffering any harmful effects, can attack an additional turn, is obviously an indicator that this could be utilized for Necropolis. All right, so keep that in mind when if you're still trying to make these teams up, and figure out something you want to do. This definitely could be one of those that you might want to throw in the mix. All right, so as far as the water, the wind, the shout is nice as far as the taunt goes, but if it's single target, even though it says a shout, it sounds like it's a single target. We live in a world where Veramos is, so depending on where you use it, the taunt and the provoking is one of those things that can easily be cleared. So I don't know how strong that will be. And again, with regards to the water units, the attack bar is filled up every time you get a critical hit, which is great, but there's not too many scenarios where you're getting in a situation where the wind units are going straight for the water units. So that'll be interesting to see if people can utilize that. Let me see. And the dark one, the reason why I didn't give it too much love is its rage charge passive, and damage increases according to the number of the attacks. which is nice, but it resets every time you attack the enemy. So I get that. That's respectable. You don't want anyone exploiting that and going at it, really turning it up as far as this. But if the damage increase will reset after you attack an enemy, you can't take advantage of the revenge set, right? Because every time you counterattack, you lose that buff. In addition, I think it's kind of a gamble, right? Think about the meta and all the light units that we utilize in the arena, in the guild wars, right? They're going to be going with the defense break and going to be focusing on that. So generally speaking, even though his damage is set to proportionate to defense, it'll be interesting to see how some people will build that, because if they do set him up for defense and then how do I say this? And then they keep on getting defense broken and go for it, then they're gonna die quickly. In addition, the damage is increased according to the number of attacks received. So I guess because it's its own like little passive, it'll help out his first attack, but he only has one attack, so there's nothing else to really kind of go with it to make it very nice. I really would have liked to see something else. Something else other than a taunt, but the taunt makes sense because taunting the unit, you want him to receive the attack. So yeah, my favorites are the fire and the light by far, all around defense based skills, and then the light one because of the multiple attacks. Okay, so next up for the jack-o'-lantern, and let's go back here real quick. Here we go. So we'll kind of get you guys involved here. Those are my ones to watch, the fire and light. Do me a favor, because everybody misses stuff all the time. What are your top picks? Give me your top 2 picks. Put it down in the comment section down below. I'd appreciate it. Tell me what your ones to watch are. Okay, tell me what your ones to watch are. Next up, jack-o'-lantern. Really, really great job with Come to Us. Doing yet again. I mean, it's quite obvious, right? It's quite obvious, but they're really, really going out of their way to give you guys the opportunity of incorporating more units for your necropolis. They're trying to make it easier for you. They're trying to make it a zone that you can farm just as good as you can, dragons or giants or whatnot. So I'm definitely excited with that. So let's take a look here. I think again, the one that kind of stuck out to me was again the fire one. All 3 attacks have multiple hits. Both of the main attacks, actually all 3 attacks have really neat harmful effects. So when you're setting up that necropolis zone, right, you're looking for the units that provide multiple attacks. You're looking for the units that have multiple attacks and the harmful effects, right? You want to make sure you have everything covered. You want the attack speed, you want the hit point disturb, and obviously the defense break. And a lot of people have been utilizing certain healers like Bella or certain units like Rogue or whatever to try to get try to work in that defense break, even though they don't have multiple hits. So I think this is going to be that one unit that allows you to fit right in there and get the job done. So I think he's going to be my number 1. The only other thing that I can see here was I do like the fact that they're going with a different kind of a setup here on the buff. Instead of attack power critical rate, I do like attack speed and critical rate. So what this is going to allow you to do, guys, is bring a support unit in that can provide the speed buff. As we've known from previous videos that other YouTubers has put out, the attack speed buff, even though the speed is manipulated, it's minimized or it's controlled, the attack speed buff can benefit you, right? That's why people were saying, early on, even though a Barnard is based on speed, the Swift buff or, like the Water Werewolf, those people that have the Swift buff can still benefit you in Necropolis, right? So that is definitely nice. And of course, in a situation like this, you're definitely trying to, find everything you need, but you're trying to, do the most damage as possible. So having a unit that has an ability to increase a critical rate, very, very nice. Very, very nice. So yeah, I like it. As far as the The shield goes on a dark one. If the turn ends without attacking any enemy, which is only going to come up after you use the Song of Wind, you'll get the shield that's proportionate to your level. And you know, it's for 3 turns, so it will allow you to you know, increase your damage. But again, you know, with units that are set up for as buffers and whatnot, you don't see a lot of units set up as buffers, and you're focusing on a lot of attack, right? You know, support is support, damage is damage. There's only a few units that out there that I would consider hybrids that can make it do what it do. But obviously, with a unit like this, that you really want to make sure that you have no reason to lose the unit halfway through. I don't see a lot of people going out of the way to do a lot of damage, but it'll be interesting to see if you guys do get it. That, you know, if you have the opportunity to you know, increase this little shield here, or, you know, get the shield and then run it down. I mean, obviously, we'll see how long that shield lasts, and if the cooldown time on the second skill is relatively low, if it could be buffed down to maybe like, you know, 3 turns or something like that, then it can, you know, we'll get it quite a few times. That'd be interesting. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be 4 turns though. That would be my guess. It's not like some of the 2-star units with buffs and whatnot. They got it down to 3, but I would have to imagine this one's gonna be 4 turns when max. So yeah. Again, the light one, unique beneficial effect here on the passive, but beneficial effects, you know, only last for a certain amount of time. So unless you have a team with multiple beneficial effects, I don't know how much you know, how much of a bonus you could take. That being said, it's the only unit other than the fire one that's going to give you the opportunity to provide 2 ways or more of multiple attacks. And again, when we're thinking about Necropolis, right? We're thinking about trying to provide the units with the most multiple attacks and the most harmful effects, the nice wide variety of harmful effects. So again, guys, I'd have to say my top pick is the fire. Please put your top picks down below. You know, which ones are the ones to watch in your end. You tell me down below and see what you think. Let's see. So of course, you know, obviously the last note here, this is a very exciting moment for a lot of us that have been struggling. For me, I basically I'm still I could have put Necropolis B10 on the back burner as far as being able to auto it. You know, I've been able to clear it, but I have not put it to auto because a lot of the units just need a certain amount of violent and revenge runes which come off dragons. So I just have to keep on farming, you know, and my thought process is that, you know, those runes, if they may not help me right away in Necropolis, I might be able to get a couple for my main units. So at the end of the day, for me right now, dragons is the most important, but because these overall stats have lowered on certain stages, or in addition to HP and attack speed, it might be a little bit easier to auto, and it might allow me to kind of work in Necropolis as we go. So let's give a quick shout out to all of you guys out there that went out of your way to, you know, provide Necropolis, you know, guides or whatnot, and get people to auto B10, you know, with a nice range of monsters. You know, there's only a handful of people out there that were able to auto clear before the buffs, you know, before the nerfs were changed. So I like to give a shout out to the people that really make it do what it do, you know, using their units, their thought process or whatnot to make it happen. I like it. So other than that, a couple of changes in the on the axis here on the guild members page here. See what it is? Yeah, it will be displayed in the guild menu, and then the power package pop-up message will no longer appear. So I'm glad that they changed that. Yeah, and as far as these bug fixes go, I'm glad they went ahead and, you know, updated that. That was something that was kind of going on for a little bit there, but yeah, that is pretty much it. Obviously, the big things here, the new units, ones to watch. I'm glad they brought out new units, and I'm glad they didn't bring out, you know, like 4 or 5 different units. Just a couple, just to get us a little excited for the Halloween. Nothing too crazy. It also will allow us to, again, try to, you know, get some of these new units and play around with them, see how it works. So let's go ahead and sum everything up for the ones to watch. My ones to watch for the Frankenstein ones are going to be the fire and the light. And then on the bottom ones here, for the jack-o'-lanterns, my ones to watch again is going to be the fire. But that being said, don't underestimate the power of the water, wind, and dark when it comes to providing a buff that's going to, give you the speed that you need and give you the critical rate that you need to do extra damage. You know, the more damage you have, the quicker you can get them down before the timer resets on his revive, and then the attack speed, you know, speeding everything up. Especially if you can't find the unit that provides you all the harmful effects it is. But because you have the ability to buff attack speed and then reduce attack speed from these first skills, right? I think that's a great combination. Again, that being said, I still think my top pick is the fire one because I'm looking for multiple attacks all day long, and if I can have multiple attacks with the first main one being attack speed, you know, I'm definitely down for that. So I think the water wind and the dark will make it a little bit easier if you don't have, you know, a lot of multiple hits, but I still think the fire one is my favorite. Y'all let me know what it is. Put it down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this new series, the ones to watch when we get the new units, new updates. If you like it, smash the like button down below, and I appreciate all your support. Thank you all for tuning in. It's a pleasure to make these videos for you as always. It's your boy Childish from ChildishPlays. Check it out. Take care. We will see you next time, guys. We're out.